Tara Jauhar has come all the way from India. She oversees the Sri Aurobindo Ashram Delhi branch and has done so for decades. And the Mother's International School, which houses 3,000 students, is considered one of the top schools in New Delhi. And so this is on top of an ashram, which she's already running. She's also running one of the top schools in New Delhi. And countless humanitarian projects, education projects throughout India. Tara spent 30 years with the mother, 32 years living with the mother in the Pondicherry ashram. And I just am so, when I asked if you would come, I thought, well, I'll just ask. Can't hurt to ask. And the fact that you're here is such a blessing to this whole event, and I'm so deeply honored that you came. So, and we didn't have enough lapel mics, but this one will work. I'm just so glad that you're here. He's turning it up, it's good.
I'm also very happy to be here. And I'm meeting so many people, somebody after 30 years, somebody after 40 years. And so it's a great pleasure, and I'm so happy that Matthew invited me. And with me has come Ranju Khanna and Bhuvana. Both have been working with me for a long time in Delhi. Bhuvana now lives in the States. So I'm very happy. I'm not a speaker, and I don't give lectures, I don't give talks, I don't do any teachings. So if you have any questions to ask, then please ask, and it makes it easier for me to say something.
Did you tell you what I asked for in the words? I wondered if there might be a story. Yeah, I have that. I wondered if maybe there was a story that would come to you to share that could welcome all of us here together tonight. Any story. I don't know if that's too broad, but I felt asking for some story just to bring us here together.
I don't know the story, I don't know, but that we are here together today is not a chance. There must be some deeper reason for which we've all been brought together. That's my feeling, and I'm sure that at the end of these 2-3 days we will find the reason.
Can I say something? Yeah. 2 days ago, Didi celebrated the 73rd anniversary of her coming to, her joining the Sri Aurobindo Ashram. I don't know how that is possible considering she's only 25.
Yeah, it was on 1st of August 1944 that we, as a family, we reached Pondicherry. So I was with her the other day on the 1st of August, and I told her that today it is 73 years since I first saw the mother. That is on the 1st of August. Today is the 4th.
How old were you then?
I was 8 years old. And my father was a freedom fighter. And he was fighting the British, and so he was all the time in and out of jail. He was a follower of Gandhi, and during the freedom movement, even my mother joined sometimes. We were many children. In those days in India, everybody had so many children. And my father's younger brothers were much younger to him. His second brother was 8 years younger, and his last brother was 15 years younger. And he had run away from home at the age of 16 and started a career, started working as a servant in somebody's house in exchange for learning typing. And then he joined the Lala Devanchand company as a typist. And then he brought his brothers to Delhi, educated them. So my mother had not only her own children to look after, but my father's brothers and all. So we were many in the house. So my father decided to put all the children in boarding houses. He was doing well with his business. He had later, at that time not, but he had these lime business. Lime is he had mines from where they mined the limestone and then crushed it, made it into lime, and it was used for construction work. Anyhow, then he put my two elder brothers at stone's throw away in a boarding from the house. It was the best school of Delhi at that time, modern high school. And my two elder brothers went there. My elder sister went to a very traditional Hindu school in Lahore, which is now Pakistan. And to me, he sent me to a very elite Christian school. And also in Lahore. And then my younger brother went to Dehradun in one of the best schools. So nobody was really very happy in the boarding schools. But we were put in the boarding schools because it was becoming too much for my mother at home. And then we all came back for the holidays, summer holidays. And my father said, we are going on a trip. Actually, my father's story about how he saw mother and how he reached Pondicherry is also very interesting. It's my fateful journey. If I could get hold of the story and give it around, it's so interesting. He and a friend, Dr. Indra Singh, had gone on an all-India tour where you bought one ticket for 75 rupees in those days and you could travel any amount for a whole month. And so my father, my father's friend and my eldest brother, these three had gone on this trip and they landed at Vilyapuram. Vilyapuram is a station 25 kilometers from Pondicherry, and they started asking around what is there to see. They were the type that always asked if there was any ashram or any great man whom they could meet. So somebody told them there is Pondicherry, and in Pondicherry there is a yogi, his name is Sri Aurobindo. If you want, you can go and meet him. You can go there. So they went to Pondicherry because not only that they went to meet Sri Aurobindo, but they went because Pondicherry was a French territory. So that my father said, so that I could tell everybody I've been abroad. I've been to a foreign country. In those days it was a big thing to go to a foreign country. That was way back in 1939. And so they went there. Of course they didn't meet Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo was not meeting anybody. But somebody said there will be meditation at night. So they went to the meditation hall. Those who have been to Pondicherry know the hall downstairs where mother's bed is now there, at that place. Then my father also went and sat there and he looked, everybody was sitting with eyes closed and meditating, but he didn't know what was happening. So he kept his eyes open to look around. And then he says that I suddenly saw that from the top of the stairs, a woman was coming down and she looked like an angel. And as she came down, she brought a very strong, peaceful atmosphere with her. She came to the bottom of the stairs, stood for a while, and he said, I could not take my eyes off from her. And then slowly she turned around and went back, and that was the end of the meditation. He said, in that 1 minute or few minutes that I was there, I lost my heart and won my soul. And that's how he met Mother, and then he started reading a little bit of Sri Aurobindo. And after that, he used to go every darshan, except when he was in jail. He would go every darshan to have Sri Aurobindo's darshan. He could probably, and he must have, otherwise he would not have turned like that. So we all went to Pondicherry because he had turned towards Mother and Sri Aurobindo. So he took us for a holiday there. Pondicherry was so backward in those days, you can't imagine. Nobody can imagine what it is today. There were at least, hold that, I don't need that money. So, there were no cars. There were only 3 cars in the whole of Pondicherry. One belonged to the governor of Pondicherry, French governor. One belonged to the mother, and one belonged to the richest man, Selvarajan. There were 3 cars, and as children we used to run out if a car was passing by. And mother used to go out once in a month. Only on the first of every month she went for a drive. So the car, we saw the car inside the ashram, but we never saw it on the road so much. And the roads were all ours. We used to play on the roads. The grounds were ours. Nobody used to go to the beach. Nobody, except a few ashram people. So even that was ours. The whole area was ours when we were small. And that was Pondicherry. There were 3 shops. One was a cloth shop, one was a general store, and one was a wine shop, French wine. And for that wine shop, people from Chennai used to, at that time it was Madras, used to come regularly to get French wine from there. So these were the only 3 shops in Pondicherry. Now you see thousands of shops in that area. So that was Pondicherry when we came. And we came in the year 1944, and the first, those few years, 44 to 1950, we had darshan of Sri Aurobindo every darshan day, 4 times a year. And the last 2 years, we had it 5 times because we got the sports uniform, and once in a year we used to march past in front of Sri Aurobindo. So we had 5. The last 2 years, 5 darshans. And otherwise it was 4 darshans, and we used to go to Sri Aurobindo. So we did not, I had no other connection with Sri Aurobindo except the darshan days where we saw him, that's all. But with mother we could go to the mother. All children in those days could go to the mother any time.
I have a question. Do you remember your first meeting with mother? What was it like?
It was, you see, everybody said, mother, mother, mother. So you went with that kind of an awe in your heart. Who is she? What is she? Oh, she's as small children, you believe whatever you are told. So we believed, and that belief has remained in me forever. And when we were there, after a few days, my elder sister, she went to the mother and she said, I don't want to go back. We were getting ready. After 15th August, we were getting ready to leave, go back home to Delhi and then back to the schools. And my elder sister went and told mother, I don't want to go back. So mother called my father. My father said, I don't know, mother, if you, whatever you say. So she said, then you have to buy a building for a boarding school, and I will start a boarding school. So he had to buy a building, which was at that time at the playground, which is now the playground where there is that map of India. That whole thing was purchased, and then it took 6 months for the building to be made ready for us to go in, and my mother had to stay, and she grumbled no end because she didn't like Pondicherry, going from Delhi, and she didn't offer herself so totally immediately, took her time. My father was gone. Once he offered, surrendered, it was surrendered. So then, because my elder sister went and told mother like that, we all went and said, we also don't want. So we all remained. We were the first boarders in Pondicherry. I was 8 years old then. And
We should be sure to save some stories because every group will have an hour and 15 minutes to be with Tara Didi in a more intimate setting and to ask questions and hear stories, and each of the groups individually will go through each of the experiences with the different facilitators one at a time.
does it mean I have to repeat the stories 4 times?
No, because each group will have different questions, so.
Maybe it would be better if my sessions were all together once. Instead of I'm afraid of talking too much.
It's like a giant jigsaw puzzle. You know, if I take one piece out, then the whole thing, it's just too much.
And the jigsaw puzzle has been every night he's working it for months.
So there will be more time for questions and in a more intimate setting.
Yeah, now they know how I came to the ashram. So
It's a good start.
Thank you.
Tara Didi, from 1910 to 1973, we were lucky, you and me, to be able to connect directly with Sri Aurobindo and the mother. And when we see you after 45 years, we can immediately connect with the mother because it is all integral transformation. My question is, what is before the new generation, all United States of America meeting here to get us connected in a common forum, all United Mothers Forum Unlimited? What is it? Give us something.
I said in the beginning, I'm not one who goes on working in the mind of thinking what will be. I just accept things as they are. And I'm not a philosopher or a thinker or any of those things. I've done sports all my life. I say to everybody, I'm a physical gymnast, not a mental gymnast.